Now, local manufacturers in Kenya have been major beneficiaries of the just launched Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway. Already about 40% sourcing of materials was dedicated to the local market, generating inflows of about $95 million. Now that Kenya's first modern railway is complete, local players are still set to win big. Earlier on, I had a chat with the CEO of Kenya's Association of Manufacturers, Phyllis Wakiaga, about the benefits of this project to the country's manufacturing sector.
The SGR will definitely have an impact in terms of reducing the cost of transport on rail. There are currently negotiations regarding the cost, and we'll be getting a final way forward on what the cost will be. But the negotiations so far make it seem like it will be significantly lower, maybe by about 40%.
Give me more insight into the discussions around pricing. Are you happy with where the SGR plans to set it now? Is there a greater discussion going on? Are you working together?
Yeah. No, the discussions are not yet concluded. There's a conversation between both CRBC, the government, and the users of the railway. And I know once that is concluded, we'll have a way forward on what the pricing will be. But it's definitely going to be competitive, much more than road transport.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, some say there are other areas that need to be addressed in the transport sector, even though we have this SGR project coming on board. And if we don't address them, it can offset the gains of this SGR. For example, the transport infrastructure in industrial areas, road transports for manufacturers sending goods up and down. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on transport is that it's critical and infrastructure for the manufacturing sector. The railway is one way to move goods from the port of Mombasa to Nairobi, so that's very welcome. We, however, still need to continue looking at our road infrastructure. As the Association of Manufacturers, we have a chapter in industrial area and 7 other chapters around the country, and we are constantly looking at roads around the industrial area that need to be rehabilitated, upgraded to make it easier for us to move.
You've also pointed to areas such as cheap imports, counterfeit goods.
Yes.
Do you think the SGR will solve all these issues, or do you think these things do need to be addressed in order for Kenya's manufacturing sector benefit from such a project?
I think all the other issues that affect the manufacturing sector still need to be addressed. As you've mentioned, we've talked about the unlevel playing field created by uncustomed goods coming into the market, counterfeit products, in some cases dumping of goods and having goods sold in the country at below their production price. And these require to be addressed through other mechanisms. I don't think the SGR on its own can address issues like that. Counterfeits, we need to really ensure that what is coming into our ports, because we've established that a lot of what comes as counterfeit is coming through the port, so that we curb it at the port. Issues of dumping, the trade remedies bill is before Parliament, and we need to have that in place so that we can be able to impose the safeguard measures and countervailing duties on these products. For uncustomed goods, we know where the challenges rest. So I think beyond the SGR, we do need all the bodies related to imports and exports to work together in a coordinated manner to address the challenges that affect competitiveness. Yes.
And on your part, how can Kenya's manufacturing industry tap into the potential that the SGR brings? Because one of the areas was, even though the government did allocate 40% of sourcing of materials locally, many manufacturers weren't able to meet the demand. At least that's the alleged report out there. So how can the manufacturing sector tap into that potential?
The manufacturing sector can continue to tap into the potential of SGR in a number of ways. First of all is to use the SGR. With the more competitive fares that it will be giving, it will make us more competitive. The other one is to set up industrial parks along the railway. From what we know, the last time we had a railway in Kenya, a lot of cities that developed along the railway. A lot of industries that developed along the railway. So it's an opportunity for us also to set up industries along the railway line and take advantage of the improved logistics. There's also the construction that's going to be ongoing of the railway from Nairobi to Kisumu. It's an opportunity for the sector to also benefit in terms of local content.